If you haven't been living under a rock, I know you've seen the headlines that are everywhere about the housing market and what's happening nationwide. In today's video, I want to take you through exactly what happened in the month of August, specifically here in Ocean City, New Jersey, to put everything into context so that we can make good choices or better choices going forward. If this is your first market update with me, make sure you stick around to the end because we take everything that we know about where we're coming from, where we are now, to forecast where we're going to be in the near future. And if this is not your first one, welcome back. I hope you enjoy this as much as the rest. Let's dive right in. So first and foremost, mortgage rates have been all over the map over the past few months and even for all of 2022. Over the month of August, they increased about 10% from about 5 to up to 5.5, and they appear to be inching up as of the recording of this video on September 2nd. They're going to be inching up a little bit further than that as well. Now, again, we'll touch on where I think they're going to go in a minute, but with inventory, we're up 11% from where we were in July. And if you've been keeping a close eye, I know I've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of feedback from buyers who are out there and have been keeping an eye on the market for quite some time. And the good options are very, very hard to come by. They're few and far between. A lot of these properties are very overpriced. We'll cover that again in a second here. Low days on market continuing to hold steady. That may start to shift a little bit as inventory builds up, but prices, that's what everybody cares the most about. So prices on condos are steadily slowing down. They're up 11% year over year, which is phenomenal by any normal measurement, but those are decelerating. We were just at 18% year over year a couple months back. Depending on where we fall this month, I would imagine we're going to be single digit percentage change year over year. But again, that's phenomenal by any standard measuring stick, but that's for the condo world. For single families, they're going even more quickly. We're up 39% year over year, and that continues to stay steady or grow within a few percentage points, and that is unlikely to change in the coming months. But condo prices, as you'll see in a second here, have leveled out. We now have 4 months of data showing that. So let's get to the visuals. Now, pending sales here, and again, I'm going to explain this very quickly. Pending sales are basically how many properties went under contract in a given month. So here we are off to the right. All the blues are August. Forgive my head for being here. The blues are August. We are clearly at a low compared to the previous 3 Augusts. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there isn't a lot of inventory out there. Despite coming up 11% from last month, we're still only in the mid to high 260s. And quite frankly, that's very low compared to anywhere we have been historically outside of the current 2-year previous cycle. Now, again, we're about in line. I'll lean this way. We are seeing a slight down tick month over month, and that is going to give us a sense for what activity is going to be like going forward. So this is a very important metric to track. If we stay flat here, as we have seen in the past, we'll see a slight either uptick or another flat month or two before things start to trickle down into the winter months. Now, as for closed sales, this is the indicator that I really want to point to here. So again, this red one is everything that's under contract as of the recording of this video to close in the month of September. So this is a leading indicator, means forecasting, versus a lagging indicator. And I like to look at these to get a sense of where we're going. So based on this, again, we are going to likely see another step down in closed sales. That volume is going to continue to slow. But what's interesting, and again, we'll touch on this here at the end, but what the prices of those properties that are under contract, where are they going to fall compared to our current averages? Now, with the months of inventory, with single family homes, we are finally up right at about that balance level of 6 months of inventory. And again, that is what we consider a neutral market. It's not tilted towards buyers. It's not tilted towards sellers, where it has been for the past 2+ years. We should start to see some stability in the prices of the single family homes. That doesn't mean they're all of a sudden going to level out and turn flat. We're going to see the same deceleration that we have seen on the condos. And what I mean by that, again, looking at single families, it's been a rocket ship ride straight up for the past 2 years. And I, again, don't expect that to fall off a cliff. I don't expect it to level out right away. I think we will start to see a softer increase until we maybe plateau a little bit and get to a normal 1, 2, 3% per year appreciation in the coming years. Now, for days on market, again, we're continuing to stay around that 40-day mark. That may change, but I don't think it will be anything material. So for condos, months of inventory here. Again, nowhere near the 6 months that we just saw in the single family, but still up substantially from where we have been in the recent past. And I would expect that that's going to continue to climb up to that neutral market. This seems to be lagging a bit compared to where we would normally see it. And the prices, again, we saw this softening of the bell curve. I had been speaking to that back when we saw this at the end of the year, thinking that we're starting to see things really decelerate. But now here we have a true flattening over 4 months. And I think that's hard to deny. So as that inventory continues to build up, as we get more on the market, I don't expect that prices will fall off a cliff. I don't expect that they're going to drop across the board. We may see an odd property here or there that may have sold quicker before, may have sold for closer to asking price before, that may be taking some small steps back in the coming months. Now, days on market, similar story, down around the mid 30s. We do see a bump up for the first time in a long time. But I would expect that we might see that creep up into the low to mid 40s in the coming months. Still very, very quick by historical standards. Now, what everybody wants to know about, where are we going? So with mortgage rates, for now, we expect that they would stay between 5.5% and 6%. And this is a 30-year conventional. Other products are very different. The Fed meeting that's coming up in September will go a very long way towards what the rates are likely to do going forward. There's speculation by some economists and some mortgage professionals that we will end up back around 4.5 by the end of the year. I know we're not there yet. There are others who expect us to hit 6 or be in the low 6s in the coming months and by the end of the year. Nobody knows for certain. Now, based off of what I have seen in the past, and I don't have a crystal ball, I would expect that we're going to hit 6% in the month of September, and I think we'll stay there through the end of the year. The election cycle could tweak things, other Fed meetings could tweak things, but it appears that the big driver here, inflation, is starting to show signs of slowing down. And again, just like the prices we're talking about, inflation isn't just going to fall off a cliff. The fact when economists and the news is talking about year over year inflation, if you have a higher point of context that you're comparing to over time, yes, that percentage year over year is going to shrink. That doesn't mean inflation is slowing down necessarily. So we want to pay close attention to exactly what is happening to that. But again, I personally don't think rates are going to come down for another year or two. Could be sooner, could be later, but I think that's a safe bet. Now for inventory, again, we're still seeing a lot of homes hitting the market. Again, 11% increase month over month. We're up 20% over the past 45 days. That seems like it's substantial, but we are just finally back to where we were last fall in terms of total inventory available. Now, I had thought that we would end up around 250 at the end of August. We are in the 260s. I was off, not by a terrible amount, but nonetheless, that's still a very low number. And personally speaking, there's a lot of buyers that I'm working with who continue to reach out and have their eye on properties and are going to see them, who are ready to make the move regardless of the interest rates, because they understand what we have here in Ocean City, what the likelihood of finding certain types of properties are going forward. And let's play this out quickly here without some hard math. But if you were to, let's say, wait for a year and prices come down 5%, maybe even 10%. I don't think it's happening, but let's say if that's the case, the main driver for that is going to be interest rates continuing to increase. So your monthly payment is going to be the same, if not higher. So you're really not saving anything there, just missing out on a year of memories. So with that said, inventory, I think we're going to be hitting 300 properties potentially by the end of September, possibly in October. But I believe that now that we're getting to the end of the summer season, we are starting to see people who are ready to move on from their property, the ones who are trying to time the market. This is the great exit point for them. So I do expect some better options to come up. And the good news of that is I think we're going to start to see some values in the coming months. So over the next 30 to 60 days, if you are looking for something in Ocean City, if you haven't already filled out the form that's in the description below, I encourage you to do that, because not only do I keep an eye on things every day specific to Ocean City, it's the only thing I focus on, but I also know of up and coming listings. So if there's something that you're looking for and you would be ready to jump if that property comes to market, definitely reach out, fill that form out, and I'll keep an eye out on your behalf, because I wouldn't want you to miss it. Now, prices again. Single family is continuing to rise, but as I mentioned before, I would expect that prices slowly start to level out. I don't have a timeline for that. I wouldn't expect to feel a material change, A lot of people looking for single family homes are still hoping to find something in the million or less range. The fact that there are so few out there and the fact that it's unlikely that there are going to be many in that price range going forward, I don't expect any of those starter type homes to really be affected by any change that does happen. Where I do expect to see some changes in those higher prices, 2 million plus, where that inventory is truly starting to build up. A lot of new construction has been going up. And I think those are the more likely places that are going to cause prices to flatten out, not your entry level properties here on the island. Again, across the board, I don't expect prices to fall in any material way. There are going to be properties where you can get a good value right now, just like in almost any market, versus those that you simply will not. They're updated, they're ready to go, they're new, they check all the boxes for too many people for them to sit or have any sort of discount associated with them. So if this is something that you have questions about, again, for your particular scenario, don't hesitate to reach out at all. Days on market here, again, I expect them to start creeping upward as inventory increases, but nothing material. We're not going to get back to that 90-day type average where we were in the past. Now, with that said, again, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them right in the comments. You can always reach out to me directly any of these ways that you see here. I'm happy to help, happy to talk, can answer any questions you have, because what I love more than anything else is bringing some local context to all the headlines you're seeing out there in the news, because real estate's hyper-local like so many things. And you want to make sure that you are not taking these out of context headlines, pieces of data that simply don't apply here, and end up missing an opportunity, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or find an investment property. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you subscribe down below. I do and will continue to put out at least one video a week going forward about the market here in Ocean City. And if you subscribe and hit that little notification bell, you will be among the first to know when I do. Thanks again for spending some time with me today. I'll see you on the next video.